Dustin, tell us off, and then Tom.
All right.
Uh, Hey Tom, we obviously all got a chance to talk to Chris Childers a little bit yesterday and get a little bit more of his story. Wanted to go back about how you guys managed to recruit him. He was a guy who was thinking about going into aerospace engineering. As far as I know, Indiana doesn't have that. How did you guys manage to swing him to Indiana, and just how has he kind of put himself in the position he's in?
Yeah, to be bold, to be quite honest with you, he's at Indiana State playing there, and wanted to come here. Bottom line, he actually sought us out. And came to see me, and I actually called. His head coach there at Indiana State, Kurt Mallory, and we talked, and he had a lot of positive things to say about him and his ability to potentially help this football team. So, we do our homework with that for sure, but he's a guy that, he sought us out, and he wanted to come here. He believed he could play here, and it's awesome to see a guy like that be able to come here and buy in and work hard and believe in himself and have an opportunity. And when he gets those opportunities, he makes the most of it. So we're really proud of him.
Tom, and then Kevin.
Last year, Penn State and Ohio State game, certainly both come from behind, where this team never gave up for 60 minutes. Saw a lot of that even last week too, and coming back. But considering the 2-4 start and such, what's that fine line that you have to sort of balance between fixing things that are wrong, but also trying to really keep their confidence level up?
Yeah, I do think that is a fine line. I think you bring up a great point, and that's where the core structure of what you do isn't going to change dramatically. Yeah, you have to adjust things, and there's no doubt we're in the process of doing that to be able to create the outcomes that we want. But there is like you said, you start missing with too many things, and then that affects their confidence and their ability to execute just from lack of rep base or lack of just really believing in whatever it is they're doing. So, yeah, it is a fine line. There's a judgment call you have to make there as a coach, and to be able to know your team well and be able to work with them in those areas, whether it's schematically, technically, with some techniques and fundamental things, and that you're teaching or modifying in those areas. But because at the end of the day, you got to execute at critical times, and you're right. Both those games last year, we found ourselves behind, obviously very, very far behind in the beginning of the Ohio State game, and just the resiliency and the grit and fight and the toughness of this team, and that I think has not left us. That's who we are. That's what this program is all about. We just got to be able to execute in those moments to be able to have those opportunities. So, yeah, there's no doubt we're trying to make some adjustments and make some changes that we need to get the outcome we want, but to do it very judiciously.
Kevin and Zach.
Hey, Coach, latest on Taiwan and Reese. Have they been able to see the practice field this week at all? And what is their outlook for Saturday?
Yeah, both have been working extremely hard. I've gotten them out there different times and just trying to see where they're at. So we don't know for sure yet, but just trying to get them ready for sure. Would love to get those guys back. We definitely need them.
Zach and Matt.
Sorry, I couldn't find the mute button. But I wanted to ask one more just follow-up for you, Tom, on Noah Pierre. He was a guy that joined late in his class. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I know it was kind of near the tail end or maybe right at the end. I guess what was the recollection, what was your recollection of kind of the process that went into basically kind of finding him and determining that he was a guy you wanted to add? I know sometimes those late ads can be a guy maybe, unexpectedly reopening, or maybe you have a spot that you didn't expect to have. Kind of what was the process that led you guys to him?
Yeah, it's a great question. He's a guy that we obviously were recruiting and weren't 100% sure. Obviously he had some really good film. We had a chance to get down there and evaluate him, and it's an area that we recruit heavily as a staff, and so knew the coaching staff there well at his high school. And so to me, it was just more a matter of making the decision if we were going to go on him or not. And we loved a lot of things about him. I knew that he was going to have an amazing attitude, toughness, grit, fight, competitive spirit. Just some of the measurables you want to make sure that they're what they are, and that they're enough to be able able to be effective in this league. And so I just think sometimes it causes guys like that to be guys that you definitely offer and you want, but you got to make a decision. Are we going to, take those guys when it comes down to the end? And so he was a guy, yes, we came down to the end and made some decisions. Really, to be honest with you, it was one of those gut calls on my part. I remember having to make that decision, and our secondary coaches liked him and wanted him, and I had to say, you know what, okay, we're going to go. And we had other guys we were looking at, but there was just something about him. I just felt like that he had, there's no doubt his film showed some really, really physical play that I love because, you have to be a tough guy to play in this league and play college football, period. And so I just loved what I thought that we had in him. And then the other people that knew him down there, just the competitive spirit that he had and that competitive fight that he had to be able to be a guy you could count on. And then we did think he had some position flexibility. So those are all things that go into saying, okay, hey, this is the guy we're going to go after, even though it was a little bit later in the cycle. But at the same time, we had a chance to get him up here. And it's obviously a guy that we're so thrilled that we chose him and he chose us, like he mentioned the other day, which I think is a pretty awesome way to say it because it's very, very true. And just so appreciative of his attitude since he's been here, how much he's worked and how much he's helped us on special teams a year ago, and then was patient and was able to wait his turn. And then when opportunity was presented itself, he's taken full advantage of it.
Anthony, Mike.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay. You mentioned after the game on Saturday that, Don McCauley played for the first time and he a little nervous on that first pass. I know he only got a few plays. Have you guys noticed anything different with him in practice this week after getting that playing time? I mean, maybe a little bit more confidence or just kind of an understanding of how fast college football is and what it takes to play at this level?
Yeah, I think just, taking that first big hit, to be able to know that it's, hey, he hopped back up and because he got hit pretty good his first run. So I just think, there's no question that experience is huge and it helps you feel better about yourself. I think it's made a little different balance in his step, a little more confidence. You saw that this week, especially in his decision making with the reads he has to make in both the run game and the throw game, and just being able to step up in there and feel good about those decisions he's going to have to make on game day. So I really am excited we got him in there last week and want to continue to grow that part of it and allow him to continue to develop as a player in our program. So he's our number 2 quarterback right now, and excited for his growth and development in front of us.
Mike.
Yeah, hey Coach, when you have a situation like yours where one side of the ball is playing at a higher level than the other, how do you avoid that creating tension in the locker room? Is it something you talk about when you address the whole team? And are there examples you've seen of guys on the defensive side trying to pick up the guys on offense?
Well, I will say this. The way I handle it is head on. And we've talked about it as both a staff and we've talked about it as a team. And that's my approach because I think those are kind of things that if you don't address, they can fester behind closed doors and cause a problem. And so, but the bottom line is that, we all know that the defense played really, really well on Saturday. And we know that the offense didn't play their best on Saturday and has not played up to our expectations and standards for our offense this season. So that's where you just, like I said, you confront it and you talk about it. And then you challenge guys. And so what I did and what I've done, I've gone to individual guys on defense especially and talked to them specifically about the way to handle this and to be able to do a great job, because really it's more of the the behind the scenes. I get you're going to get all the things, the comments people want to make. People want to make an issue of that, when whether in social media and people just randomly saying stuff that's now a part of how we have to deal with our players because they see that stuff, even though you can say, hey, don't look at it. But I understand that that's going to happen at times. So bottom line is that you just approach your leadership on both sides of the ball, and there's no doubt. I think Mike McFadden's been an example of that, and Cam Jones, example of that, of being able to guys to step up and talk and say, hey, we're going to be supportive, and our offense is going to, they're going to get going here, and they're going to do a great job of making some corrections and getting things right, and defense is going to just say, hey, whatever we got to do, we need to get our takeaway, we need to score on defense, we're going to just do this, but we're all in this together, we're a team. Best football team wins on game day, and our guys know that, and we need each other, and the offense needs the defense needs the offense, and there'll be times when that goes both directions. But right now, it's a certain direction, and so our guys got to know. And special teams has to step up, and they got to do their part to be able to, because they do a great job of setting up the offense and setting up the defense to start their drives by the way they perform. So it's a team effort for sure. But yeah, so to answer your question, we address it, we talk about it, but at the same time, we're all in this together. We are a football team, and the best team wins on game day.
All right, looks like that's it. Thanks, Tom.
Awesome. Have a great day. Leo.
See you guys Saturday.
Coach, is this you right here?